Look at you, sweating, pupils dilated, frantically tapping to send one last text before your digital lifeline cuts out. You see that lonely, desperate 1%, and you panic. You treat a dying battery like a personal tragedy. Yet without even realizing it, you spend every single day systematically murdering it. To understand why your phone is dying, we have to look back at the 1990s. Back then, mobile phones were as thick as a brick and powered by nickel-cadmium or NiCad batteries. Those older NiCad batteries suffered from a chemical quirk known as the memory effect. If you didn't completely drain the battery down to absolute zero before plugging it back in, it would literally forget its own capacity. If you regularly charged it from 40% to full, it would start treating that 40% mark as its new zero, permanently shrinking the amount of power it could hold. But your smartphone today uses a completely different chemistry. It contains a lithium-ion cell. It has no memory to erase, and it holds no chemical grudges. Despite this, you are likely still following a 90-90 survival guide. By blindly forcing an ancient charging ritual onto modern chemistry, you are unintentionally crushing your battery from the inside out. Inside a modern lithium-ion cell, you have a fluid, elegant system. Millions of lithium ions commute back and forth across a liquid bridge. When you use your phone, they flow to the cathode side. When you charge it, they get pushed over to the anode side. The battery is completely unstressed when that flow reaches an equilibrium, sitting neatly balanced with roughly 50% of the ions on each side. But when you plug your phone in overnight and force it up to 100%, you shove every single ion onto one side. The voltage climbs to a punishing 4.3 volts. The entire internal structure is stretched to its absolute limit. Under that intense high-voltage pressure, the liquid bridge carrying your ions chemically breaks down. It physically transforms into a resistive gunk and gas, permanently clogging the internal pathways. The damage compounds from there. The anode side gets so full that incoming lithium ions have nowhere left to park. Instead of storing power, they pile up on the surface and form dead, permanent metallic crusts. This is called lithium plating, and those trapped ions will never power your phone again. We are still discovering exactly how much damage this causes. A 2025 study from the SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory revealed that prolonged high voltage allows stray hydrogen atoms to sneak in. They actively displace the lithium, causing irreversible structural collapse within the battery walls. The 80% rule is a non-negotiable law of pure electrochemistry. Stopping your charge at 80% cuts that voltage stress in half, keeping the battery out of this structural destruction zone. Then there is your obsessive need to constantly swipe away background apps. You think you are saving battery life by keeping a clean slate. Modern iOS and Android operating systems don't work that way. They are highly efficient systems that take your background apps and freeze them into a zero-energy state of suspended animation. They sit perfectly still, waiting for you to come back. When you force close them, you throw away that saved state. The next time you open the app, your phone has to burn double the energy to rebuild all that data from scratch. You are forcing the processor to do heavy lifting it had already finished. But the ultimate battery killer, the catalyst for all chemical degradation, is heat. For every single degree you raise the battery above room temperature, its chemical breakdown rate doubles. When you plug into a high-wattage fast charger and immediately start playing demanding 3D games, you create a parasitic load. The phone is pulling power while generating massive amounts of processing heat, effectively cooking the battery in its own juices. The same thing happens when you toss your phone onto a cheap, misaligned wireless charging pad. Those pads are notoriously inefficient, losing up to 50% of their electricity as pure, radiating heat directly into the back of your phone. It's like putting me in a microscopic sauna while tying my hands. But forcing it to constantly rebuild applications while baking it on hot chargers rapidly accelerates the underlying chemistry into a premature death. The lithium-ion cell in your pocket is a masterpiece of modern engineering, operating on principles far more advanced than its primitive ancestors. It is time to stop fighting the technology. Go into your settings and enable adaptive charging. This built-in feature listens to the battery's limits, automatically pausing the charge cycle at a safe percentage while you sleep. If you want to keep your device alive, the rules of stewardship are remarkably simple. Use slow chargers when time permits, keep the device physically cool and out of direct sunlight, and keep the charge floating between 20 and 80%. The math perfectly validates this. A phone charged to 100% nightly will drop to 80% health in about a year. By keeping it capped at 80%, it can maintain 90% health for 3 full years. You don't have to rely on outdated tech superstitions. By respecting the actual electrochemistry inside the glass, you finally take control over the lifespan of your digital world.